The easy version of this preview is episode 4 is going to Tumbleton. Fine. But that is not the interesting part. The interesting part is that Tumbleton looks like the kind of place Rhaenyra can win and still damage herself. The preview keeps framing the town around civilians, soldiers, smoke, and a queen who knows the move is not clean. So maybe Ormund Hightower is not asking a dragon question. Maybe he is asking a reputation question. Can Rhaenyra use fire without proving the Greens right about her? The official preview makes Rhaenyra's problem very clear. Why seize a town that already raised her banner? That is not random geography. That is provocation. If Ormond sits inside Tumbleton, he can make every answer look bad. If Rhaenyra does nothing, she looks weak. If she sends an army, he gets a battle on ground he prepared. If she sends dragons, he gets the image he wants. The Black Queen bringing fire down on people who were supposed to be hers. That is the nasty little engine of the trailer. The trap is not that Rhaenyra cannot burn Tumbleton. The trap is that she can. The strongest hidden piece may be Hugh. The show has already made him more than a future name in a book appendix. He has a wife, a wound, a class anger, and now a dragon. That matters if Cat is anywhere near Tumbleton's danger. A dragon seed with nothing to lose is useful. A dragon seed with family in the blast radius is unpredictable. And that is where Larys's warning becomes sharp. These new riders may hold power no one around them fully understands, but that does not mean they belong to Rhaenyra. Loyalty is not the same thing as permission to ride a dragon. Episode 4 may be where the crown starts learning the difference. The preview also pulls Aegon and Larys toward the ruins of Rook's Rest, and that is not just a travel update. Aegon does not need to be healthy to be politically dangerous. Sometimes a damaged king is more useful as evidence than as a commander. Larys understands that better than almost anyone. If he can turn Aegon's pain into a story about Rhaenyra's cruelty, then the Greens do not need to win every battlefield. They need to make the realm afraid of what black victory costs. That is why Rook's Rest and Tumbleton belong in the same trailer. One is the old wound, the other may be the next one. Then there is Daemon, and weirdly, the scariest thing in his corner may not be a dragon. It may be payroll. The preview points at soldiers who need to be paid, resources that are running out, and a government that has to become real very quickly. That is classic Westeros. The crown looks powerful from a distance. Then someone asks who is paying the men with swords. If Daemon cannot keep order behind the lines, Rhaenyra's war starts splitting into little private wars. River folk hate, unpaid soldiers, local grudges, suspicious dragon riders. That is not background texture. That is how a campaign rots from inside. So my read is this. Episode 4 may not be asking whether Rhaenyra has enough power. It may be asking whether her power can still be made legitimate.
That is a much better question. Dragons can solve a war. They cannot automatically solve rumor, hunger, resentment, family loyalty, or propaganda. If the preview is playing fair, Tumbleton is where all of those things start touching the same flame. And if Ormund has built the trap correctly, Rhaenyra's worst outcome may not be losing the town. It may be taking it in exactly the way her enemies wanted everyone to see. If Tumbleton is bait, should Rhaenyra be trying to win the town or trying to survive what winning it makes her become?